It began as an ordinary day in Nanjing, one of China's most historic and cultured cities, a place filled with students, scholars, and centuries of intellectual tradition. But behind the quiet beauty of that city, in the summer of 1996, something unthinkable happened. A crime so gruesome, so cold, that it shattered not only a university's peace, but left the entire nation speechless. This is the story of a crime that would become one of the most disturbing unsolved mysteries in China's modern history, the Nanjing University dismemberment case. It's not just about a murder. It's about the horrifying precision of it, the mystery of who did it, and how, after nearly 3 decades, no one has ever been brought to justice. Imagine walking to your university campus one morning, the sun warm, the streets calm, students hurrying to class, and then someone finds a plastic bag near a trash can. Inside, a human limb, then another bag, then another. What would you do if you realized the victim wasn't a stranger, but someone you'd walked past in the halls, eaten lunch beside, or studied with? That's what happened in June 1996, when Nanjing University students stumbled upon what would become one of the most chilling mysteries in Chinese criminal history. The discovery. The first discovery came from sanitation workers who were doing their usual morning rounds. It started small, a strange smell, something heavy inside a sealed plastic bag tossed near the garbage bins. When one of the workers opened it, he froze. Inside was a human leg, neatly wrapped and carefully cleaned. Authorities were called immediately, and within hours, more bags began to appear, each containing more human remains, each sealed tightly, washed with an unsettling thoroughness. By the time police gathered all the evidence, they realized this wasn't a random crime. It was meticulous. Someone had spent hours, possibly days, cutting the body into over 2,000 pieces, cleaning them, removed blood traces, and placing them in separate bags before scattering them across the campus area. The victim was later identified as Diao Aiqing, a 19-year-old second-year student at Nanjing University's Adult Education College. Who was Diao Aiqing? Diao wasn't the kind of person anyone would expect to be involved in danger. She came from a humble family in Anhui Province, the youngest daughter of hardworking parents who believed education could change her life. At university, she was quiet, reserved, and serious about her studies. She didn't drink, didn't go out much, and had few close friends. Those who knew her said she was kind, though shy, a girl who always smiled politely but rarely spoke of herself. She lived in a shared dormitory, like many students, and often kept to her routine: class, cafeteria, study, sleep. Nothing about her life suggested that anyone would want to harm her. But on the 10th of January 1996, something changed. That evening, she had an argument with her dorm supervisor about breaking dormitory rules. Reports suggest it was about the use of an electric heater, something banned in student rooms for safety reasons. After the disagreement, she was reportedly told to leave the dormitory temporarily as punishment, and that was the last time anyone ever saw her alive. The disappearance. When Diao didn't return to class the next day, her classmates thought she might be staying with friends or taking time off. Days passed, and her parents were informed that she hadn't been seen or heard from. They immediately traveled from their hometown to Nanjing, searching desperately for her. They put up posters, spoke to staff, and filed missing person reports. But weeks passed with no leads. Then came the 19th of February 1996, over a month later. That was the day sanitation workers began finding body parts in garbage bags across the city. DNA testing was still in its infancy in China at that time, but the police managed to identify the victim through distinctive physical features and items found with the remains. It was Diao Aiqing. Her parents' world collapsed, and Nanjing University's peaceful academic life shattered overnight. The investigation. When police examined the remains, what they found was horrifying. The body had been cut with surgical precision, bones separated cleanly, tissue sliced with sharp, confident movements. It wasn't a chaotic killing. It was systematic, methodical, and done by someone who clearly knew anatomy. Even stranger, every piece had been carefully washed, possibly to remove DNA or fingerprints. There was no sign of sexual assault, no ransom demand, and no robbery motive. It was as if someone had killed her not out of rage or greed, but for a purpose no one could understand. Police considered the possibility that the killer might be someone with medical training or someone in a scientific field familiar with dissection. That included doctors, medical students, or researchers. But there was no solid lead. Witnesses from the campus couldn't remember seeing Diao after her argument. No strange sounds, no blood traces, no break-ins. It was as if she vanished and then was silently, skillfully dismembered. Campus whispers and theories. As months passed, fear consumed the campus. Students whispered rumors late at night, each more chilling than the last. Some said it was a crime of passion that she had rejected a man who later killed her in anger. Others believed it was a twisted experiment by a student obsessed with anatomy. Some even claimed the killer was a university staff member, someone with access to restricted areas and enough knowledge to dismember a body so cleanly. One rumor suggested the killer worked in the biology department, where dissection tools were easily available. Another rumor claimed the crime had ties to someone powerful, someone the university or police dared not expose. But none of these theories were proven. And with every passing year, the case grew colder. The parents' endless fight for Dao's family, life never returned to normal. Her parents spent years traveling back and forth between their hometown and Nanjing, visiting the police, begging for updates, demanding answers. They visited news stations, wrote letters to officials, and even returned to the campus every anniversary of her death to lay flowers where her remains were found. But as time went on, the official investigation slowed to a crawl. Witnesses graduated, records faded, and the trail went cold. Still, her father refused to give up. He once said in an interview, "I will not stop searching until the truth is known. She was my daughter. She was only 19. The twisted details. What makes the Nanjing case even more disturbing is the precision behind it. The killer didn't act in panic. Whoever it was, they knew exactly how to cut a human body into hundreds of pieces without leaving chaos behind. Police believed the dismemberment might have taken several days, meaning the killer had a secure location to work undisturbed. Imagine the level of coldness it would take not only to kill someone, but to systematically clean, cut, and dispose of every part. And still, not a single witness saw anything suspicious. That's what truly haunted investigators. How could such a crime happen in the heart of a university campus with thousands of students, teachers, and staff, and no one see or hear a thing? The digital age rekindles the fire years past, and the case faded from mainstream attention. But the internet would not forget. In the early 2000s, Chinese online forums began revisiting the mystery. Amateur investigators and crime enthusiasts pored over old records, posting theories, maps, and timelines. Some claimed that the dismemberment style matched that of surgical professionals. Others dug into university faculty rosters from 1996, searching for anyone who might have disappeared or relocated suddenly after the murder. One detail that resurfaced often was the argument with the dorm supervisor. Could someone in authority have played a role? Or was it a coincidence? No clear evidence ever emerged, but online interest reignited pressure on authorities to reopen the case. Police response and modern efforts. In recent years, Chinese law enforcement has quietly revisited several cold cases using modern DNA technology and advanced forensic tools. Many believe that Diao Aking's case might finally see progress, but as of today, no official statement has confirmed a breakthrough. The details remain locked in police archives, sealed under privacy and sensitivity laws. Every so often, whispers of new clues surface online, but none have been verified. Still, hope persists. With every new forensic advancement, there's a possibility, no matter how small, that justice might finally catch up with whoever took Diao's life. The lingering fear. For many, what makes the Nanjing case unforgettable isn't just the brutality, it's the silence that followed. A murder this calculated didn't just end one young woman's life, it shattered the illusion of safety in one of China's most prestigious academic cities. Students began locking their doors earlier, watching strangers more carefully, and questioning the people they once trusted. It also raised haunting questions about evil that hides in plain sight. Could the killer have been a classmate, a professor, a janitor who walked past hundreds of students every day? No one knew, and that uncertainty became its own kind of terror. The legacy of fear and memory. Today, Nearly 3 decades later, the Nanjing University dismemberment case remains one of the most infamous unsolved crimes in Chinese history. Diao's family still honors her memory. Each year, online communities share her story again, ensuring that her name isn't forgotten. She was not just a victim of violence, she became a symbol of unresolved truth, of justice still waiting to be served. Her case continues to haunt China not only because of its horror, but because it's a reminder that even in the most peaceful places, darkness can hide in the most ordinary faces. The Nanjing University dismemberment case isn't just a story about death. It's a story about unanswered questions, the fragility of human safety, and the relentless search for justice that refuses to fade. Every city has its secrets, every school its hidden stories, but few carry the kind of shadow that lingers over Nanjing University. Somewhere out there, the person responsible might still be alive, living quietly, blending into society, walking among people who will never know what they did. And that's what makes this case so chilling. Because until the truth is found, the Nanjing University dismemberment case remains not just an unsolved mystery, but a wound that never healed.